Good afternoon, Facebook family and YouTube family. I'm going to put this on both platforms when I am done. I hope you're all having a good afternoon. It is Tuesday, December 29th, 2020, and we are in a full moon tonight. So I do apologize for getting on here as late as I have. I've been feeling under the weather the last 24 hours, so I haven't been on my game, I guess. But anyway, we're going to go over the forecast for today and or this evening and the energy that it's going to bring for the next 2 weeks ahead. So before I get into that, I'm going to, a couple of days ago, I was on a YouTube show called Occult Gems. I was talking about the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction. Of course, we talked about a whole bunch of other things, from aliens, reptilians, and UFOs to the times that we're living in. I will share that video once I get on her page and download the video for myself. I will download it for you guys and get it to you here on Facebook and also on YouTube and also on my website. So stay tuned for that. Now, I'm going to be running a couple of specials starting on December 31st. I'll go back live in a day or two and let you know what those specials are. But the one I am running right now that's going on my website, and I only have 2 left, and this is the Moon Sign Book 2021. I'm selling it for $12.99, but along with that, you get 3 months of your lucky and unlucky dragon days. These are the biorhythms of your birth sign, and they detect your lucky and your unlucky days. So I let you sample 3 months of the lucky and unlucky dragon days, which usually I think costs $65 for the entire year. Maybe I'm wrong. It could be 70. Either way, it's a great deal. And I think with shipping, depending on if you do 2-day priority or 5 to 7 day delivery, it's anywhere from $15 to $20 for the book and the e-file that comes with it for your lucky and unlucky dragon days. All I need is your date of birth. So hit me up at astrologywitch.com if you are interested. And if you have any questions, astrologywitch22@gmail.com. If you like what you hear today, please give us a like as well. Every like helps. All right. That was my little spiel for the day. And I have someone in there. I just can't see who it is. I do think it's my dear friend Gail from across the pond. If my eyes don't deceive me. Hello. How are you? Happy full moon. So before I get started on the full moon in Cancer, I did this forecast. Instead of typing it up, I wrote it down because we were having some issues with my daughter's PC. So she is doing most of her schoolwork on my computer, which is fine. So I will improvise. But we do have days of caution for yesterday, today, tomorrow, and the 31st. The 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. We go into a moonic phase. Hey, Pam, how are you? Hi, Gail. I knew that was you. I could just tell by your picture. Hope you ladies are having a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Anyway, days of caution, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. We move into a moonic phase. A moonic phase is about energy from the moon, and the moon brings emotions. It brings mother energy. It also can bring Mother Earth coming alive, and earthquakes can happen, tsunamis, tornadoes, volcanoes. This is where weather can get kind of crazy sometimes too. But it also, in a negative, can represent abrupt relocations for many. United States is a Cancer nation, so this energy is going to touch us as a nation directly. I've been kind of following the headlines in the last 24 to 48 hours. And I've been trying to see what really is getting ready to take place. It makes perfect sense with this whole stimulus thing. We're getting 2,000, we're not getting 2,000. We're getting 600, we're not getting 600. This is true moonic energy right on the United States of America because we are a Cancer nation. So it makes perfect sense. But this is also mother energy. So there, for a lot of us, we might have to help our mother or our parents more with this next couple of weeks coming. Or this is also telling you to give mom a call because she's lonely and she wants you to, say hello, happy new year, how you doing? So not everything with the moonic energy can be negative, but because it's moving in on a full moon energy, it will probably be a little more negative than positive. Just watch the news and you'll see what I mean about abrupt change and abrupt relocation. And this refers to all of us. Somewhere in our stars, from the 1st to the 12th house, wherever Cancer's falling, there's going to be an abrupt change of some sort in that house. And we'll talk about a little bit more about that when I read your forecast by house and sign. But that is the energy at hand. New Year's Eve, because the moon is waning, it's probably, if you do go out, go places, like go to someone's house that or a lot of people are sheltering in place and not going anywhere. It is best to lay low and stick with family and stay inside the house and do something fun that way instead of going out and dealing with people, because we haven't seen the worst of it yet. I don't know, I know you ladies that are in the chat right now that follow me, you have heard me say in the past, October or November, December, and January are going to be the worst months that we see. And it's not over yet. We've gotten through December. We're at the midway point, but we have a whole nother 30 plus days of energy to deal with. And it's really a crapshoot right now with the election, the swearing in, no pubs open. Oh God, I bet. Oh yeah, England's on lockdown, which is good, to a certain extent. Here in America, some states are in lockdown and some states aren't. California's in full lockdown. Arizona's business as usual. So, and Arizona is seeing some of the highest COVID rates. And so it was California. They're about right there at the same level. But here's the interesting part. California has over 39 million residents. Arizona only has 9. So for there to be that many in each state, that's very disturbing for Arizona. No, you're right, Gail. Things aren't changing much all over the world. People are getting sicker and people are dying more. And the COVID thing is very real. We are in a dragon's head in Gemini, which brings respiratory issues, and it is not going away anytime soon. I think we might see some positiveness come springtime, around April, May. But we're not done with. We have this dragon's energy with us for the rest of the year, all the way through 2021. This next dragon's energy shift isn't until like the 19th or the 20th of January 2022 when it shifts into a Taurus Scorpio axis. But we have a long road ahead of us. This Gemini Sagittarius energy went into effect around May 5th of 2020. And this COVID thing came on the scene even before that dragon energy shifted. When it was started in China back in 2019. That's really when this COVID thing started. So you could see that it was a precursor to something bigger. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't pay attention to that. Sad state of affairs. We are living in very unstable times, but I do believe that there is a positive coming from all of this. You have to remain positive, and you have to have hope and a little faith. But yeah, the worst is yet to come. So just wash your hands, wear your mask, sanitize, social distance. Don't be a freaking moron. I'm an idiot. Because it's those of you out there who think it's a big hoax and a conspiracy, you're the ones that should die first. Sorry, that's rude and mean, but it's true. Just die first then. Maybe you'll have to learn your lessons in the afterlife instead of in this life. But just, I know that sounds harsh, you guys, for me to say, but if once you get to know me, you're going to know I have zero tolerance for ignorance and stupidity. Put a little logic and reason into things. If it doesn't make sense, then step into the divine. Exactly. Nature. Remedies from nature. Keep up that immune system. Vitamin C. Someone was saying start taking some elderberry. In fact, one of my witch boxes, I have a whole thing I showed you, I think last month's witch box, where I can make an elderberry syrup to boost the immune. So anything to keep your immune system boosted is the best, and steering clear of a lot of processed foods, which, you know, I'm not being a hypocrite, because I do love my processed foods too. You know, I think I'm a mouse. I love cheese. So I should have these little mousy ears, because one of my weaknesses is cheese. I love cheese and crackers with a cup of tea like I'm drinking now. Even just a slice of cheese. It's, I don't know, cheese. Anyway, stay safe out there, everybody, and just, you know, follow universal laws, but also follow the man-made laws. There's reasons for it. All right, now let's get to where I was going to talk about. We have a full moon this evening in Cancer. This is for Tuesday, December 29th. This full moon goes into effect at 10:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for all of us on the West Coast, this is going to go into effect in California, 7:28 p.m. For Arizona, it'll be 8:28 because we're on Mountain Time. And for those of you across the pond, your full moon will go into effect on December 30th, probably in the wee hours of the morning. Let's see. At 2:28. Okay. So we begin the year with full moon in Cancer. I don't know if you remember this, but back on January 10th of 2020, we had a full moon in Cancer. Now we're closing out the year, and we have another full moon in Cancer. Now, I told you I'd explain a little more about what this means. To open up a year with a full moon and to close the end of the year in the same celestial placement is definitely a significant thing going on here. This is where, how do I say it? The divine feminine energy is there. This is where women's spirituality and women's empowerment becomes key. This was a turning point this year for a lot of people, a lot of women. A lot of women got into power. A lot of women got into their own empowerment and working on their own selves. And it wasn't easy doing that this year with a lot of people being in quarantine. I think it's really taken a toll on damn near every human being's psyche. Even myself included, it's not normal for us to distance ourselves from people and to be hermits. It's, you know, we as humans need human touch. You know, we need that human experience of talking to each other. Now, thank God we are in an era where technology is abundant, because I think if there wasn't Zoom and technologies like this, I think we'd be in a far worse state. But it is taking its toll on people, children, adults, seniors, all of us. It's taking its toll. So just be strong and know that things are changing. They're changing slowly, but they are changing. But With this feminine energy that began in 2020 and is closing out 2020, it's also representing where humans are increasing, because Cancer is the sign of sensitivity and emotion, it's intuitiveness. So this is where the shift is changing. This all correlates to a Saturn and Jupiter conjunction in some way in Aquarius, because even though Cancer and Aquarius are two very different planets, or one's a moon, please understand that the age of Aquarius is here. So the Cancer way of thinking, of having more sensitivity, compassion, and kindness for others and emotions, is definitely a new age Aquarian mantra. I should say good strong cheddar. Yes, I love a good strong cheddar, in a grilled cheese especially. It's been taking a toll on me for sure. I don't know where I would be without Zoom and my cats. Yes, pets too. Pets are a godsend, aren't they? Even though the inmates run the asylum here and I'm up to 6 cats in my house, I am officially the crazy freaking cat lady. They really do make my day. They make everything brighter. And can't complain with Zoom either. I would be very lost. I agree, Pam. That statement is so spot on. Yeah, I'd be very lost without Zoom and my pets. And you being a Cancer yourself, I know you're feeling this energy, too. And like I said, women's spirituality is getting ready to explode in the next two years or so. But it's also about our emotions, our sensitivity. The leaders of tomorrow, our leaders today, but also our leaders of tomorrow, these people are going to be there to help humanity more than hinder it. We've been dealing with energy, strong Capricorn, authoritarian energy that isn't really in it for helping man. It's really about lining your pocketbooks. Capricorn is the sign. It's a harsh sign. Capricorn is brutal. It's a brutal sign, and I know that from speaking for my own self. When I'm done with you, I am done with you. That's Capricorn. But there's always positive and negatives to every sun sign. But we have been dealing with a very negative energy in Capricorn for the last 200 plus years, and that's all shifted now. Like I said, we're going to be helping each other. It's going to be more about community and humanitarianism and helping our fellow man and innovation and new technologies. And this is also where I don't recommend investing from now till the new moon, but once the new moon hits, you can do this. But invest this year coming up. I would highly advise you to invest in things that are of new technologies and join groups and organizations that help others improve not just their own psyche and their own spiritual journey, but also humanity on a whole. Things like that are going to take effect very soon. But Cancer moons are all about, before I go on to something else, let me just end with this. Cancer moons, when we have a Cancer moon, it is all about family, getting together with the family. It's about food. It's about real estate. And it's also about home matters. So there are some of you out there, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Cancers, especially if this full moon is falling in either your 4th house or your 7th house. This is going to be a time where you have to make decisions about buying and selling property. Are you going to invest? And I know someone in the chat that can relate to what I'm talking about right now. But this is about, you're getting ready to make these decisions about the roof that's over your head. So this is true Cancer energy coming in. So just go with the flow, and in the end, I will say this. there is something coming in this year, maybe the next year or two. It's gonna end with a woman coming in it's a woman warrior of some sort. You want to call her a woman warrior, you can call her a lioness, you can call her the empress. Hi Rihanna, how are you, hon? I haven't heard from you in a while. I was getting worried about you. I hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. But something's coming in. She's female. She's a warrior. I don't want to say she's a fire sign, but she could have a lot of fire in her chart. But there's some sort of female-based energy, either a group of women or one woman that's coming in the next year or two, and she is going to be a lioness and a warrior for the people. So curious to see who that is. And like I said, this might take manifestation in 1 to 2 years. It's not going to happen tomorrow. So don't sit there and go, well, you said this and that. You go back and listen to what I said. 1 to 2 to maybe 3 years maximum, but I see it more being 1 to 2. Sometime next year, we'll see some changes coming. Okay, what else do I have here? Now, water signs, you guys are going to feel this full moon energy the most, because you are one of the most intuitive signs in the zodiac. So Cancer, of course, you, Pisces, Scorpio, you're going to feel this energy the most out of all other signs, except for, and here's where there's always the exception to the rule in ancient astrology. If you have a sun sign in Cancer, a rising sign in Cancer, a dragon's head or tail in Cancer, or a moon in Cancer, those placements and signs will feel this the most too. So just beware. And it doesn't necessarily mean to be a negative. I'll use my daughter as an example. This Cancer energy went into effect yesterday, give or take. And the full moon is today. My daughter has a dragon's head in Cancer, and anytime the Cancer energy goes into it, when the energy shifts and the moon moves and it's in that Cancer energy, she really gets the cooking bug. So yesterday, my daughter went to the store before it snowed and made this beautiful Asian dinner of, I don't even know what it was, but it was some sort of chicken with rice. And then she made homemade sushi rolls. It was just fantastic. So a lot of those, you Cancers and you Cancer dragon heads, you get this, you're good cooks. That you're very blessed by your stars with cooking. So anyway, water signs will feel it the most. Sun in Cancer, rising, moon, and dragon head and tail, you will all feel this energy the most. So let me go on to magical folk. Now, my magical folk. Hello, Kathy. How are you? Happy New Year. My magical folk. Now, spell work done. Now, this is the perfect time to get your kitchen witchery on, okay? Full moon in Cancer is a kitchen witch. I know you do, love. I know you love to cook, Pam. And you cook very well. I've tasted your food. Yum. But this is definitely the kitchen witchery moon in a great many ways. But spell work done for buying and selling a home. You can even do fertility spells, because Cancer rules the breast and the womb. It's the mother of the zodiac. She's a very fertile sign. And ritual work devoted to goddess and goddess energy and spirituality. There's many of you out there who have your own pantheons. And for myself, I don't just stick with one goddess. I have, one day I'm feeling Hecate, one day I'm feeling Lilith, and then the next day I'm feeling Isis. I've been drawn to Isis pretty much all my life. as a young pagan in my teenage years. So I slapped a big old tattoo on my back of her on my back, which I think I'm going to have some color put in once we are out of this COVID thing. I'm like really jonesing for some ink. I'm having tattoo withdrawals, folks, okay? But those are some things we can do in this magical energy, and all, anything related to goddess energy and women's empowerment. Like I said, goddess spirituality. This is all blessed under these stars. Now, for healing ailments, if you're doing spells to heal something or someone or yourself, if you have ailments of the breast, the womb, or the stomach, this will do very well. Any kind of ailments of these body parts will help. I'm not going to say they will cure. That's not where I'm going with that, because there's no guarantee, but they will help in a lot of ways. Well, the next time, Pam, that I come to town, I have to go. I don't know any tattoo artists here, and I don't feel like experimenting at 50 years old, getting bad ink. So I'll probably head back there because I know a couple of people to get ink work done. We'll have to go together because I'm jonesing for some ink, damn it. But yes, happy magic making, and even a simple thing as cooking something in your oven is a magic within itself, because this is kitchen witch energy. So get out there, make magic, cook something yummy for your family, and have a very safe and blessed full moon tonight, folks, okay? Let's start with your forecast. I'm going to go through all 12 signs from Aries all the way into Pisces, and we're going to start with Aries for now here. So Aries, this is going to be your forecast for your full moon Cancer forecast for the next 2 weeks by house and sign. And Aries, this is going to be taking place in your 4th house, is the house of home. This naturally is in the zodiac. Cancers represents 4th house, home. So plans to relocate are possible now, or even decorating. A lot of Aries might be thinking of selling or buying a home, or even redecorating, renovating. Hello, Samantha. How are you? Yes, tattoo party. Now you're talking. Yes, let's get that planned. Get Delana in on that too. A tattoo party when I come to town. This sounds like fun. Aries, so this is where your environment might change through your own self, okay? Making plans to relocate, or making plans to, paint the walls in your house. There's going to be some change inside the home in some ways. This also creates a little higher level of emotion with the family. They might be missing their mom, and if their mother is still alive, please give her a call, okay? For those that are missing their mom and she's not there, just know she is a guardian angel always watching over you. But your home environment does have some decisions to make, Aries, and that with those decisions will come some emotions. So you really just go with the flow, Aries, and you should be just fine. Now, Taurus, this is going to take place in your 3rd house, and I always try and keep my forecast as positive in nature as I can. Hi, Kim. Oh gosh, I miss you guys. I do. I miss all of my Salinas peeps so much. I miss you guys so much. When this COVID thing is over and I come back to Salinas to visit, I want a hug from each and every one of you. Even if we all meet at Starbucks or we all meet at a tattoo parlor. Either way, I'm down for it, because I really miss a lot of you guys out there, especially the 4 or 5 that are in here that were my local yokels. I miss you guys. Taurus. Now, like I said, I try to keep this as positive in nature as I can, but anytime we're dealing with the third house, we're dealing with communication, we're dealing with the mail service, we're dealing with siblings, mental process, and you might hear some sad or important news come your way in the next 2 weeks, either by telephone or email or internet or by letter. Yes, very long squishy hugs, I agree. This is where siblings will reach out to you, and sometimes the news isn't all that great. So I want to prepare Taurus to be strong. If you are born in the month of May, this can also pertain to May-born Geminis as well. This energy is going through your third house, but your siblings might reach out to you with some disturbing news. And it might take a toll on your mental process. So, and it might be erratic. So before you make any big decisions, I would say step back, find your happy zone, find your meditation zone before you make any drastic decisions or say anything you are going to regret. Best thing to do is just regroup, reread, take deep breaths, and then proceed forward once you've kind of gotten your collective self together, because you're probably going to be a little emotional. What you hear might make you emotional. So just be strong, Taurus, and know that you're in my prayers. Gemini. Now, Gemini, this is going to take place in your second house. This is your house of wealth, possessions, money, and self-esteem. And issues with the home or family may force you to spend money that you didn't want to spend. This always happens when this energy is cruising through a second house, and it usually takes place with someone within the family. It's not necessarily you or the spouse. Maybe a pipe breaks in the house, or one of your kids does something that costs a little money. It's going to be something like that. It's usually nothing major, but it will kind of create some emotional energy there. But just remember, it's, in 2 weeks, we have a new moon coming, and it is in Capricorn, and it'll be a little more positive in nature. Oh, Gail, I'm sorry. Well, now, please remember, before I go on to Cancer, I just stopped with Gemini. I want to reiterate something about what I'm saying here. Each and every human being has different stars, so no two Tauruses are alike, okay? Also, there are good Tauruses and there are bad Tauruses, and we are ruled by, the stars are ruled by karmic jurisdiction. So this, Gail, might mean a relative calls or a sibling and has some not so good news. But if the karma is good, it might be good news. Or it might be important news. Like when I gave the word sad, that was one of the key words, but I also gave the word important. Could be important news that ends up being something very good in the long run. So, power of positive thinking, okay? The only thing I will say is the mental process for the next 2 weeks will be a little off. It always is when it's in or any of us are have it in our third house. So if with this being the case, just reread things. Make sure you understand it before you commit to it, or you're going to be mad at yourself later on. Just like I said, regroup, reread, reiterate it, and you'll be fine. Okay, on to Cancer. Now, Cancer, this is happening right on your first house. And if you are born in June Cancers, you will probably want to take a look at what the Gemini forecast. This is the second house. For June Cancers, it's hitting your second, but for July Cancers, it's going to be in your first. Now, the beauty of this is, though, that sun signs and Cancers kind of get the beauty of both energies, both positive and negative. So you could have some action going on in your first house and even in your second house. It all depends. It also depends on how many, a concentration of how many planets are residing in one house. So if you have more Gemini planets in Gemini in the first than you do in the second, then the Gemini energy will take on more of that effect. But Cancer, July Cancers, first house, this full moon is right on you. It's going to make you very, very intuitive. In the positive, your intuition is going to be spot on. If I was driving with a friend and she was Cancer and I had a question about what she thought of the person, I would ask a Cancer, what do you think of this person? Because their intuition is going to be at its peak. And that goes for all water signs right now. And like I said earlier, all the other aspects that go with it. But with the positive comes a negative. And with that can also make you an emotional basket case. And what I mean by that is usually water signs are very intuitive. Some are natural born empaths, and they can take on all the negative energy that's surrounding them, creating an emotional basket case. So for my beautiful Cancers who are empaths, who do take on that energy, you're going to have to block, ground, selenite yourself to purify the energy. Do something to ground yourself from the negative energy that you take on around you the next 2 weeks. Because you might be in a good mood today. It's a full moon and it's beautiful, but energies shift every 2-3 days. The moon changes every 2.5 days. So the next 2 weeks, there might be some emotional issues that come up. So remember what I said. Always getting to the water helps, whether that's Yes, I agree. Sometimes being an empath does suck. I agree with that 100%. Big time. So yes, just be strong. Now, affairs dealing with business may bring added stress to your life, Cancer. Think back. I want Cancers right now to both June Cancers and July Cancers. I want you to think back to January 10th, 2020. This is when the first full moon hit for the year. If you can remember back, I know some of you out there journal. So those of you who do journal, go back to your journal and read what you put for that day. Okay. The reason I'm saying this is because it's not every day you begin and you start. This is a rarity sometimes in celestial energy. And starting in January with a Cancer full moon and ending 3 days before the year is out with a Cancer energy is very significant, especially to Cancers. But look back and see what you were doing on January 10th when the first full moon of the year was. Have things come full circle. Okay, Kathy, I'm going to use you as an example if you don't mind. This is perfect. Okay, so Kathy, who is a friend of mine and a client, is a Cancer. I know this. I've done her stars. We've chatted many times together. She's a beautiful soul. Back in January, I'm sure the process was going, planning. And now the year is ending and she just bought a condo on the lake, which is so Cancer of you to get near the water. I just love it. That is coming full circle. So I want all my other Cancers out there to reevaluate this for yourself. Think back to what you were doing in January. Have things come full circle, or do we still need work to do? Because even if things haven't come full circle, maybe 1 or 2 things in your life have. It doesn't necessarily have to be, like for Kathy example, buying a home. That's coming full circle. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could be buying a car. It could be finishing up a course. It could be having an epiphany about something. Something comes to light from January to now that you've discovered and you've learned. So there's many different facades of this energy, but using Kathy as an example is one perfect example of a Cancer coming full circle. So I am so happy for you, Kathy. Wonderful, wonderful news. Many, many blessings. And I just love to hear good things from my clients. I'm so glad you've come full circle, and what a wonderful journey. It's going to be fun to decorate. You'll have to show me pictures of it. I would love to see that house on the lake. Okay, on to Leo. Now, Leo, it's time to let go. This is going to take place in your 12th house, Leo. This is your subconscious mind. So, keyword here is don't feed into any fears, okay? Don't feed into any fears. It's time to let go of your past. It's time to let go of the guilt from your past and even the errors that you made in your past. Leave them. Let them go. It's a new year. Release it. I'm sorry, you guys. Release it. I should have turned my thing off. You got to progress forward, Leo, into the new year with hope and confidence. The future does look very bright, okay? And if you are one of those Leos that dreams a lot, listen to the dreams. They're giving you messages. The subconscious mind is trying to give you divine celestial messages. So listen to those dreams. Okay. All right, Virgo. Now, Virgo, this is taking place in your 11th house. And because it's Cancer energy, normally I would say this is about a friend backstabbing you. And I'm not saying that can't happen, but let's start with the positive. And so this is going to bring in a new friend of some sort that's going to bring you wishes. And then it also goes to the extent of an old friend could backstab you. So it can go two ways with this energy right now. Go with the positive and leave the negative behind, Virgo. Like I said, friends will bring wishes. So when we lose friends, I've always been taught this by my astrologer. When I'm getting hiccups. When we lose friends, we lose wishes. So, but there are some friends that are worth losing. Trust me, it's like scraping gum off your shoe. You know, or dog shit. Pardon my French. Just scrape it off. Some people aren't worth it in your life. So Virgo, if that door closes and a friend backstabs you, know that another window is opening for you in the realm of friends and groups and community. All right, Libra. Now, Libra, this is going to take place in your 10th house. This is your house of career. So in order for Libras to achieve success, you may have to move forward or away from where you are now in order to see success. There might have to be some sort of change because where you're at seems stagnant right now. Positive change is ahead in all areas of your career and your accomplishments and even your public standing. So just give it some time, Libra, and things should fall into place, but you might have to make that first move in order to get the ball rolling. All right, Scorpio, 9th house. Now, this might be time for you to plan that trip away. Like I said, this full moon's going to affect all water signs. You are a water sign, so a trip away, even by the water, to rejuvenate your spirit is definitely in order right now. But the 9th house represents higher learning, higher education, foreigners, foreign lands. It represents courts and justice and laws. So you might decide to take up a new course or study or deal with business. And there might be foreigners coming at you in the next couple of weeks, but just be cautious because the moon is waning now and those foreigners might not have your best interest at hand. Any plans made for traveling, it's okay to plan them now, just don't act on them until the new moon. Planning trips in a waning moon phase will never bring a good trip. As long as you book those tickets in a waxing moon phase, you will always be blessed by the stars to have a wonderful experience. So find a plan, just don't commit to it yet and drop money or anything until the new moon, Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpio, most Scorpios I know are cautious, and that's a good thing. So yes, but just beware of foreigners too, Scorpio, because they seem to get on your nerves a little bit. And I don't mean that in any kind of a racist way, okay? It's not where I'm going with this, but there's going to be one or two that trigger you and it's just not going to be fun. So just kind of steer clear of people if you can. Sag, this is taking place in your 8th house, and out of all the zodiac signs, I had to really sit back and word this one very carefully. And the reason I say this is because not only is the universal dragon energy tail on you, Sagittarius, but this energy is cruising your 8th house. This is the house of life, death, transformation, rebirth. This is the house of sexuality. This is the house of investments and finances and joint finances and inheritance and legacy. So with that being said, you might hear of a death. Someone may leave you an inheritance, or you may hear about their legacy. But it's going to touch you emotionally in some way. You're going to have to remain strong. I know this is one of the parts of doing astrology that I hate to do, because every full moon, there's always going to be some sign in the zodiac that doesn't have as great of a forecast as another sign does. Right now I'm looking at Taurus. Taurus didn't have that great of a forecast, and neither does Sagittarius. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to happen to every Sagittarius, but or every Taurus, like I was explaining to Gail earlier. It just depends on the person, but if it does happen, be prepared. You might even hear of a death of an old high school person you went to high school with. I'm hoping it doesn't touch you as dramatically as it might. But for those Sagittariuses that will have to feel this directly, my thoughts and prayers are with you. All right, Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, this is taking place in your 7th house. This is the house of marriage, contracts, partnerships. So changes ahead with you, Capricorn, with your business and partnerships. This can also mean marriage. Some Capricorns may get divorced, and some Capricorns may decide to tie the knot this year. Okay? Either way, it is a time for Cappies to do work on themselves for once. And this is very true. No, in the last 3 years, Capricorn, I always say this, has really gotten its butt kicked by having Saturn in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto's still in Capricorn until 2023, but things are kind of releasing from Capricorn now, and when I say changes ahead, you will have to work on yourself a little bit, Capricorn. And I don't mean that in a physical appearance. I mean that in a psychological, spiritual, and even health-wise. It's time for Capricorns to give themselves some TLC. I know a lot of I'm Cappy too. We are one of the hard. If the Cancer is the mother of the zodiac, Capricorn is the father of the zodiac. They are polar opposites. So, Capricorn always sees life as a Cancer, and Cancer usually sees life as a Capricorn. It's that 7th and 1st house interaction of polar opposites. It's also the law of attraction in the 7th house. The 5th and the 7th house are the laws of attraction. So take time for you, Capricorn, okay? Make time for yourself. Aquarius, 6th house for you, Aquarius. And this represents your health. This represents your work life, your service to the world, your employment. And your health is going to improve, Aquarius, and a new opportunity within the realm of employment or service to the world is going to be offered to you. This is actually very positive energy for Aquarius. The next 2 weeks are a time to plan things out, but Aquarius, you can be on to a whole new career, even if it's self-employment of some sort. This is very positive energy coming your way, Aquarius. And Jupiter, the Lord of Luck, is in your house now. So giving that little touch of energy to lucky energy to Aquarius right now for the whole entire year from 2021. So good luck, Aquarius. And last but not least is Pisces. Pisces. Now, this is taking place in your 5th house. This is the house of love, romance, children, creativity. This is the house of joy and pleasure. And right now, children might bring you some joy in this house. Some Pisces may be getting news that they're pregnant, or they'll hear news of somebody getting pregnant, or maybe they will be pregnant. The opportunity to find true love can be common right now. However, this is going into a waning moon phase. So this also might be a time where your relationships might present some problems and they might need attention and some work. Whichever way that pendulum swings, know that attention will be needed to your love relationships and your romance. So hang in there, Pisces. All right, and that is your forecast. I'm sorry I did not type this out. Like I said, we are down to one computer right now, so I didn't have time to type this out. I wrote it out, but I didn't type it out. That is your forecast for the next 2 weeks by house and sign. Like I said, I am going to be running some specials. I'm still running the Moon Sign book special. I'm selling on astrologywitch.com for $12.99. You also get 3 free months of your lucky and unlucky dragon days. This is a must-have book if you are into following the stars, and especially if you are just learning how to read the stars. This is a must-have book. Must-have. So check out that deal, and I am going to be running a New Year's special. A couple of different specials. I'm going to be running a 7-card horseshoe spread, and you get to pick the tarot deck of your choice. I have about 3 or 4. I did find my witchy tarot deck. Yay! You know, that was like really ruining my day by not finding that, but we found it. And you know what's interesting is I asked the spirit board one night, where in the heck are my tarot cards? The thing goes moving around, it's moving around, it's moving around. It goes to the letter R. I'm going, oh God, it's in the recycler. The letter R. We couldn't figure out what the letter R was, but we did end up finding them under, I think, either an arm of a chair, or I'm going to have to see what the name of the chair is, what maker or brand it is. Maybe the spirit board was right. But anyway, I found my card. So keep your eye out in the next 24, 48 hours. I should be running some other specials. I'm going to be doing a full life reading special at a percentage off for New Year's. So if you want to get in on that, hit me up. I will probably have this up, like I said, 48 hours from now. Also, I was on someone else's show. I mentioned this in the beginning, and I will end with this. I was on someone's YouTube channel the other day, Occult Gems. I'm going to go on there and download the vid, put it on my website, put it on Facebook, and maybe even YouTube. I have the hiccups. God, I'm sorry. So look forward to that, but I do promise to be back on here before New Year's Eve, okay? And if I don't see all of you that are in the chat, have a happy, healthy, and very blessed New Year. And all my YouTubers, I know I've gotten a lot of new subscribers, and I'm very honored and welcome. And I do owe that to Occult Gems as well. She's wonderful. She's given me some very good advice on a lot of different things through marketing myself. I'm not all that great at marketing myself, but she has kind of given me some good ideas, and she's become a friend, and I really enjoy listening to her, and I really enjoy her presence. She has a lot to offer this world and a lot of good information, but I will get that video up as well on all of you. Wishing you a very blessed full moon, and I will see you all very, very soon. Ciao. Bye, you guys. Bye, Sam. Bye, Gail. Bye, Pam. Kathy. Did I leave anyone out? Ariana, I think. Bye, you guys.